Today's date is the 15th of August, 2018. It is now 6:30 at the clubhouse at 4801 Lakeside Club Boulevard here in Fort Myers, Florida. We're here for the members meeting of the board meeting, the board of directors meeting. I'll get straight to the show. So would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I guess we're underway. Jim, would you call the roll, please?
Roll call, President Tommy McIntyre,
Here.
Vice President Janet Miranda,
I'm supposed to say hello, I'm here.
Treasurer Scott Harris.
Here.
He's here. John Fricker.
Here.
Ken Jerome. Mike Levon.
Here.
And Jim Tucker. Here.
Thank you, Jim. Was this meeting properly noticed?
Yes, it was.
Okay, we'll start with the open forum. Jolene Porter first.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. I don't know if you can do anything about this, but there are a lot of residents that are full-time residents in here that are going way over the speed limit. They come flying up behind you, or they go flying by you, and I don't know what we can do about it, but we got an awful lot of older people that don't hear so well. There's one lady over by us that she walks her dog, and we know she doesn't hear us come up behind her in the car, so we go like creeping along, and she's like the dog sees us before she does. So somebody's gonna get hit, and it's not gonna be pretty. And I can't tell you any license numbers because it's not one or two people, it's a lot.
I know.
I don't know what we can do, but
It seems like we're always preaching to the choir because these people aren't the ones that are doing it. But I guess the only thing I can say is that you try to convince your neighbors and so forth that this is a danger, and we should be concerned. All of us should be concerned, more concerned than we are, of course. This has been my bug for 6 years, and we've tried putting a radar gun out, and it slowed them down for about 10 minutes until they figured that we weren't going to get a ticket anyway, and then the next day it was just back to normal again. The sheriff's department will not give tickets to us unless we raise the speed limit to 35 miles an hour. And make it, it's a public street, so it's not. I mean, we want to keep it private, so. It's a dilemma. We're all aware of it, Julie. Maybe somebody can come up with an idea that would help, but I've run out. Carl?
Yeah. Before I start, I want to agree with this lady because it's a safety issue, and we've been talking about this a long time. I want to thank Eric for the podium. Makes me feel better standing here. Instead of having all the board members sitting down, comfortable, and then you have to stand here and talk. It's a little intimidating. Even if, I've been here a long time, it still gets a little.
Get on the mic, Carl.
Pardon?
Get on the mic.
Oh, okay. I put this mic, I guess we'll do it like this.
there you go.
How's that? That's no good, right? Is that okay? All right, well, what I wanted to talk about was one, I was fishing last night. I don't know if anybody knows it or not. We have a big gator big gator in here. It's not a small one, it's a big one, it's bigger than the one I caught.
How
And,
big?
I would say it's pretty close, over 5.
Yeah.
It's over 5. It had a tremendous head on it. He was sitting up on a platform. I was fishing for a while and watched him. He's not intimidating. He doesn't bother anybody. But somebody walking their dog too close to the lake, you lose your dog, you lose your arm. So I just want to let everybody know that if they didn't know it, it's a big gator. It's not a little one. It's not cute.
May I say something
Don't
about
popcorn and stuff like that.
that? This is going to be in my report, but I'll just say it now.
Okay.
We've known about that alligator for a couple of weeks. We hadn't reported it due to the construction going on around the path. We didn't want to disrupt anything. However, we put a call into Fish and Wildlife, and they've issued a permit for a trapper to come out and get it. And I would imagine in the next 24 to 48 hours that alligator will be removed.
Yeah, he's intimidating. He's pretty good size.
But in the meantime, proceed with caution, especially with your pets and children.
Okay, so now what I wanted to talk about, what I came here tonight about was safety with the automobiles, cars. I live on Blackberry. Blackberry's always been a problem because people travel from 203, 204 condos up through Blackberry, and then they travel down towards here. And we have a lot of contractors come down there and they speed down the road. And I thought we had problems solved once before when I asked to get a couple speed bumps put in. It was not successful. But I do have another idea, and I think that it wouldn't cost the board a whole lot of money. I think that one of the big problems is people are driving up and down Blackberry on the wrong side of the street. Now, that's hard to believe, but I'm going to tell you, they come up the wrong side of the street sometimes. They don't do it intentionally. They come up the road, and if there's a car parked in front of the garage, they tend to lean away from that car. They don't want to get close to the car, so they get on the wrong side of the street, and they stay there. So my idea was that you put some arrows in the asphalt, painted. Maybe 2 on each road, 2 on each side. 2 going south, 2 going north. Because it's a north-south road. With a little medallion with a speed limit on it. So you have a little medallion here with a speed, say, 15 miles an hour. And you would have the arrows pointing where people are supposed to travel with the car. Now, I'm not sure if people will still adhere to that, but I think that they don't have any excuse if they have a problem. And I think it might help, so I'm asking the board to put them arrows up there and save somebody from getting hurt. Okay?
Thank you, Carl. I know we as a board have discussed possibly making Blackberry from Villa down to Green Cypress a one-way. And either way, either north or south. And it didn't get too much reaction, so people don't like one-way streets because it interferes with their mindset, I guess. So we'll see what we can do. Maybe the arrows will work, Carl.
Without painting arrows, normally I like to stay away from marking up the roads with arrows and things like that because it kind of makes it look like more like the airport and less like the community. But if people aren't following the rules and this is the only way to get them to do it, maybe it is something that needs to be done.
I don't think there's anyone else on the,
Did you sign up?
Sign a sheet, yeah.
Did you sign up?
Yeah. You forgot, so.
well, that was little. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just wanted to put something out there. The men's luncheon, the Romeo, the old retired man eating out, we're changing the venue from the mixed grill. We're going to be going to Red's up here, just a little ways beyond veranda on your left-hand side. So there's the sign-up sheet. If anybody would like to come, I I just wanted to make sure there was no, somebody winds up going to the mixed grill and the rest of us are up at Reds. So August 27th, it'll be at Reds. It's fine.
And you're buying, right?
I'm buying. No.
Do I have a motion to either read or waive the minutes of last month's meeting?
I move that we do not, that we waive the reading of the minutes as they were posted, since they were posted.
Here we have a motion to waive the minutes since they were already posted. Seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Okay, manager's report.
Good evening, everybody. Sorry I don't have a typed copy of my report ready. We'll have one typed up in the morning, but I do want to go through some things with you. You may or may not know, this month we made a staffing change. George Rosato no longer works for the association. We thank George for all the hard work he did for us while he was here, and we wish him the best of luck as he moves forward. Last month, it was requested that we try and improve the fountain at the front entrance. We took some time to try a couple inexpensive ideas that we had, but in my opinion, they weren't up to the standard of what we're looking for, and definitely not ready for prime time. So we're gonna go back to the drawing board and work on that and making the entrance a nice, welcoming and using the water feature too. If we use the water feature, using it to our best of our ability. Another thing that we are working on at the front entrance, as you know, is the stone garden. We built that small planter in the center. We have plans to add 2 more small pieces and then go over with that brown river rock, which will make it look really nice. It'll be like the finishing touch up there at the front entrance. So that's coming up. You're also going to see some new signage popping up around the community related to some different things. So keep your eyes open, be aware. Please follow all the rules, all the speed limits, all that stuff. It's very, very important. We met with, Tommy's going to talk about it in the agenda, the DOT about the signage out on the main highways. The signage inside is just as important and critical that we follow, especially the speed. They've been working on our walking path around the lake. That is completed, other than some punch outs, some touching up that they need to do. And they've moved on to the tennis court, which they repaved 720 square feet where we had the major gullies that have washed out, recompacted underneath, and re-asphalted. And they're currently working on the roadway repairs. You probably noticed all the orange paint around. They started that. Some of the pieces are in progress, so be aware when you're walking. Keep your eyes open. We try to have cones at every single location, but I think we're running out of cones. So just be aware and be careful. Once it's all fixed up, we'll be in a lot better position. The walkway itself, I think, turned out pretty good considering what we have to work with. That pathway had already been overlaid, we believe, twice before, so this is the third and likely final time that we'll be able to get away with an overlay. Access was a major issue to get the big equipment in there, and there is some spots where the edging could be a little bit better, and those are the spots we're going to have them come back and touch up. But overall, we went from a very dilapidated, in some areas dangerous path to a very nice, new level walking path. So I'm actually pleased with the job, and I hope you guys are too. The hallway flooring, we've continued on the hallway flooring. The 5 hallways that we've opened up are cleaned, prepped, sealed, and ready to be coated. So we've got a couple days left. We've opened up a new one in building 102, which is the first 3-story unit that we've started. And I've noticed in a couple of areas where there is some possible spalling and some possible damage to the structure, on one of the landings in particular. Nobody is in imminent danger, so please don't be alarmed. However, maybe nothing, it may be something, but we will have a structural engineer come in and make an assessment on that and determine what action needs to be taken. But this is a good example of the reason why we're switching away from carpet over to this new surface material. Is because the carpet holds in the moisture, which causes the rebar to rust, which makes it expand, and you'll have stucco popping off, pieces of concrete potentially falling at different times, and this is exactly why. So, we're a couple buildings in, and here we are. We maybe found our first spot where we have some damage, but we will address it properly. We've been working on ways of removing the glue in a dust-free manner, and we've tried a few different things, and they seem to be working actually very well. It's actually a lot less labor-intensive for the guys, and it is getting the glue up. So we're going to continue to work to perfect the dust-free removal. But I think that's important for safety of our residents who are walking through and walking by, and also the guys that we have working on it. We don't want them breathing that stuff in, and even with the masks and the glasses and all that stuff, you just don't know what's getting through and what's not. The tennis court, I told you we re-asphalted that. We're meeting later this week with the tennis court contractor to finalize resurfacing. I just want to reiterate that, especially once it's resurfaced, it's a very expensive process. Please make sure that the amenities are used for their intended purposes only. The tennis court's not to be a dog run or a playground or anything like that. It has to be used for tennis or pickleball only, and that's to just preserve the integrity of the court and the surface. The alligator we talked about in the open forum. There's a young boy who reported to me a few times who was getting in somehow on a bicycle and picking avocados off of our tree. And I don't know if he started a little business going around and trying to sell the avocado. Not that we want to get the little boy in trouble. I'm not sure how old he is exactly. I haven't seen him. But he is trespassing. It is not legal to come onto private property and do that. So if you see him, I'm asking you to call the sheriff's non-emergency number. It's 477-1000. Report it. Hopefully we can get out here in time to catch him. And what they'll do is they'll issue him a warning that not to come back on this property and do that. If he chooses to do it again, then they'll take it to the next step and probably issue them a formal citation. But we do want to get some kind of warning so that way the parents are informed, and that'll hopefully be the end of that. Hurricane preparedness. You notice we've had tree trimmers in here just about every day. They've been doing a good job trimming a lot of the big oaks. What they're doing is they're thinning out the canopies so air can pass through them, and that will prevent, hopefully, either trees coming down or large limbs coming down. And they've actually been doing a really good job on some of the trees. I've been really impressed with the trim down that they've done. Going along with that, we purchased an over-the-air antenna for the television in the clubhouse. As you know, we bought the generator, so we'll be able to watch the news in the aftermath of the storm and see how everything's going. Fuel, we now have the capacity to store about 100 gallons of the ethanol-free fuel that we need to run the generator. Well, we have the capacity, we don't have the fuel yet, but we will have the fuel. Probably by the end of this week or first of next week, we want to go ahead and have that fuel in hand. We'll keep it on hand through hurricane season. When hurricane season's over, we'll use it to power our golf carts and other machines, and and then next year we'll fill up again. I also have plans to purchase a fair amount of water, just so we have an emergency supply of some water. However, don't depend on us for that type of stuff. And like we say every time, don't depend on us for electricity or any of that stuff, because while we have a generator, while we have fuel, while we have water, anything could happen during that storm. There may not be a clubhouse here, the generator may blow away or not work or anything like that. If you have a special circumstance where you require special assistance, go to a place that is equipped to provide you that assistance. We are in no way a hurricane shelter, but it could be a good gathering place for after the storm, assuming everything goes okay, you know, everybody is safe. The pool furniture, I know a lot of you see the chaise lounges, especially the bottom part of the seats are pretty worn through. When we bought this furniture, we used to have strap furniture, which had the vinyl straps. And when we looked at it with the board, we wanted the nicer furniture with the understanding that the slings don't last as long as the straps. However, you can replace the slings. You can take them out and put new ones in. So we called the company that we bought it from, and we were getting ready to order those slings at $60 each, so it would have been about $2,000 to do each seat of the Chase. And they went to go check their inventory, and they said, oh, we discontinued your pattern, we don't have that anymore. Which was wonderful.
That was handy.
So we had to go to a plan B, which I was able to find a vendor out of Boca Raton that did still have the fabric, and we ordered a full roll, just so we had extra even after this, and made arrangements with a local upholsterer here who will sew it and get it all ready, and then actually remove the old sling and install it on the new. So it actually worked out to our favor. We would have spent $2,000 and had to do all the work ourselves here. Instead, we're going to spend about $1,200, and they're going to do the work for us, and we'll have extra. So that is that was a win, and I like to support local businesses when we can. And the last thing I want to talk about is the community lighting project. The Safety and Security Committee gave me a list of areas that the lighting needed to be improved. We started to work on it this week. We got interrupted, but we plan on continuing. Community is going to be very well lit by the time we're done, so I hope everybody is pleased with it. The cost of the lighting was expected to be around $6,000. We've sourced the lights through a different vendor, and once they're verified, we may be able to reduce that amount by about $1,500 to bring the cost down a little. But the goal is to have high quality lighting through the whole community, and I think that's important. And that's all I'm going to give you guys tonight.
Thank you, Eric. Treasurer's report?
Yeah, I don't know how well everybody can hear me, so I'll keep it short. The important thing is we're on budget. That's 4 items in my note. They're available on the tax table there. Mostly involved some additional expenses, not too great that we had, but we got to cover them. In accounts receivable, those are enumerated in the notes. There's nothing significant there. And there should be July's balance sheet income statement for July in one note. So if there's anything Eric wants to bring up, you'll be able to hear him a little bit better. I'll just let it go with that for now. Thank you. You guys hear me at all?
We got you. Thank you, Scott. time for the president's report. Most of what I have to say is already, it will be covered in the committee reports or old and new business. However, the issue of the dog park and or a pickup bag disposal area were reviewed by the current board of directors, and consensus was the same as it was with the last board. That is that the maintenance of cleaning up the drop stations is not very desirable, and our maintenance men do not relish that job, neither do I, or most of you. So pet owners are responsible for their animals, including the cleanup and disposal of the fecal material. Another point was made that non-pet owners should not have to pay for amenities that are solely restricted to pet owners. That they felt that that's a choice that a resident makes, whether he wants to have a pet or not. And the non-pet people feel that that's a burden on them if we have to provide a park or whatever for them. So therefore, we're not going to build a dog park, but in place of that, Eric has made up a list that you can pick up here at the office of several dog parks. The closest one being Buckingham Community Park, right out on Buckingham Road, and it's only 12 minutes away. There's a dog beach in Estero. Well, you can pick it up and look at it, so no use me reading this stuff. Thank you, Eric, for doing the research on this. As Eric mentioned, of course, we'd like for you to keep your pets out of the tennis court or any of the areas like that, like bocce ball court or shuffleboard courts. Don't let your pets go there in case they make a mess that you don't see. Okay, a reminder that all crimes are handled by the Sheriff's Department. I think Eric mentioned that before. If you have a criminal issue or believe that a crime is being committed, call the sheriff. Do not contact the office or any of the board members. Just call the sheriff, and they will make a decision whether something should be done or not. So don't be timid about it. That's what our taxes go for. Okay, next is the committee reports. Do we have any committee chairmen that would like to make a report today? I have one on the Lake and Amenities Committee. Eric and I have been discussing upgrading some of our amenities, and mainly looking at the gathering area south of the pool and some high-profile spots along Lakeside Club Boulevard that would be a pleasure for the community and maybe make it a little more attractive for people who would like to join the community too. So we will submit our plans to the other committee members. None of them are here, so I have to do that by phone, and then we'll get back and have more of the next board meeting in September.
Just to touch on that, Tommy and I went over a few ideas, and a lot of them are good opportunities because of the time of year that it is. We're able to acquire this stuff at a highly discounted price. So, but it's going to be, I think, very nice, and just about everybody will be pleased with some of the ideas that we have. It'll be a big improvement.
Any other? Okay, old business. Janet, Eric, and I met with Comcast representatives yesterday, and they submitted 3 proposals. One was for a little over $35 a year plus a door fee for re-upping, so we get some of that money back. Option 2 was to keep everything exactly like it is for $32 approximately for the first year, and then a 4% annual increase the year after that. The third option would have to, we would add a 100 megabyte per second internet service, but that would cost $65 more. So that's about $29.50, excluding the TV. Then we would be paying more a year to have internet. And since everybody doesn't have internet, we'll see if that needs a further discussions. We're planning on having once we get all these bids in and the last details in, we want to have a town hall meeting or discussion meeting sometime, so that an open meeting that you can ask questions of us. Maybe we can get representatives here too. But when it gets down to the bottom line, it's kind of hard to pass up the deal. Dish business has offered. I guess Scott doesn't want me to drone on anymore. Dish business would supply us with HD TV and internet for about half of what it would cost for Comcast, but there's a lot of infrastructure and a lot of changes and so forth that would have to be made to do that. So again, we have to take that into consideration. Is it all just money, or is it some of it convenience? So we'll have to weigh our options and see. So we'd like to have input from everybody if we could. So we've asked for a bottom line cost from both companies, and would like to present the 2 packages to the community.
And we really do want your opinions when that time comes, because you know how that is. If we make a decision with what we get, then a lot of people we haven't heard from, then that's not good. And we will also try, I think, to get in touch with the people that are out of town, just so they can have some kind of an input also.
Number 2 under old business is discuss the 2019 roofing project. We spent about $900 to repair the damaged roof that was damaged by Irma, and have inspected it and found no leakage. So it was originally scheduled to be done in 2019, but we were wanting to go ahead and get it done. But because they're still putting on roofs and the price of getting new roof is skyrocketed, so we're going to stick with the repair until next year and go ahead and follow our original schedule of re-roofing. New business? Anybody have anything to say before I get started on these? Okay, Orange River Boulevard and Lakeside Club Boulevard intersection update. Eric and I met with the with two Department of Transportation representatives, and they made some changes and recommended several changes for us. We now have 2 new yield signs, as well as repositioning and rewording the left turn sign approaching our intersection from the north. They asked us to cut back any bushes that would obscure the vision on oncoming both from us and to the east and west approaches to the intersection. And you may have noticed that's already been done. Our bushes went from 4 feet to 1 foot out in front. So we may have to get some different type of foliage if we want to keep the look the same, because it's like those plumeria that are not plumeria, lumbago, big one with blue flowers. They don't look too good cut down like that, but well, we'll see. We'll do the best we can. So please approach the intersection with extreme caution. Don't go buzzing through because you don't have a stop sign. People don't read signs, as you know. They speed through our community. So people that are making a left-hand turn may not yield to you going straight ahead. So go slow, make sure they're stopped before you proceed. So we ask that you be extremely cautious of that. We don't want any more accidents to occur than already have.
Mr. Chairman, this is just Scott back on, just so everybody knows. Okay, Scott, you're on.
Okay. As you know, George is no longer with us. And since his job description was janitorial primarily, we're considering hiring Anego Cleaning Systems to take over his duties. We think that they will do a more thorough job for less money than we paid George. And I tell you, I looked over the list of things they're going to do, and I know that our maintenance crew did not do this. Things like cleaning cobwebs away from walls, cleaning light switches, dusting baseboards, just a more professional type of service and at less cost. So we need a motion to hire an Anego Cleaning System for our janitorial work.
I move that we hire an Anego Cleaning System for our janitorial work as soon as possible.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to hire an Anego Cleaning Systems for our janitorial work. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed, the motion carried. Some of you may have noticed when you're coming in on Lakeside Club Boulevard that building 9501 and 9503 Royale had been cleaned. So, as you can see, it really brightens up the community, makes it look fresh and new, which it isn't. But it gives that appearance that it's clean. So, if you want to make a comparison other than the pictures, look at 9501 and 9503 Windsor Club as you're coming in. That's the first house that you can see on the right-hand side facing the road. And then compare that to the one block later. And you'll see that it is quite a difference.
And I'll tell you, this is the group that has been doing a lot of our cleaning. There's no pressure involved in this. It's less pressure than a garden hose. When he introduced it to me, I didn't believe it. And he said he would do the first one for free to show us, you know, what it would do, and you could see the difference. Then we went through and looked at each unit. We have a grouping of roofs that are going to be done in 2019, and then a grouping in 2020. But then the remaining 35 roofs are not done until 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, at least 5 years away. So I went through it and looked at every building that was over 5 years away from getting a roof. And we did an assessment based on how dirty it is, how much, obviously this one would have been on the higher end. And it added up to be more than what I thought we could work into the budget once we did the price. He came back, once we added each one up, it was about $8,500. And I told him we just couldn't afford that, even though it's 71 residences. So I went to him and I said, what's the best you can do for us? And you know, he was able to come back within what we could afford, and he lowered his bid from $8,450 to $6,500 to do them all. So the board wants to move forward with that.
Okay, we need a motion to have the roofs clean if they are 5 or more years away from scheduled re-roofing at a cost of no more than $6,500. Do I have a motion to that effect?
I move that we have the roofs cleaned that fit this description that you just said.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded that we have the roofs cleaned, that if they are 5 or more years away from scheduled re-roofing at a cost of no more than $6,500. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote? No opposition? Motion passed. Can we make some clarifications for anyone? Did you take the phone?
Well, there you gotta go to the microphone, buddy.
Come on, Phil.
Come on, old man.
When they're doing the roofs, do they make much of a mess?
Yeah,
It's a power washer, isn't it?
well, it's not a power washer on the roof, however, the dirt does come down. So they'll cover your furniture, they'll ask you to probably bring anything important inside, rinse down the plants. Sherry can speak to
They
it from
did,
her house as
ours
well.
was one of the ones that did. And, the only thing that I noticed was whatever they use has some kind of, and if it gets on your plants, it doesn't like it. So just move your plants away from where the spray would work out.
Yeah, the
And you'll
outer-
know when they're coming.
The outer landscaping they'll spray down with water to preserve, but if you have like house plants, or interior plants, they may not get them. So just keep an eye on it. If they do cover and do take every precaution that they can.
Say how long it takes to do one roof
Years.
per year?
Depending on how bad they are, it took a while to do this one, but they anticipate getting anywhere from 4 to 6 buildings done in a day. So it'd be a week and a half long job if everything works out right.
Phil. Anyone else? Mike?
Yes, regarding the buildings that already have new roofs put on and the gutter system with that, where are we in repairs to the gutters that were not reattached properly as far as the rainfall coming over the gutters themselves versus going through the downspouts?
Just as with the roofing, we've been unable to get and this is actually not cost related, we've been unable to get anybody in here to do the work at any cost. And it's told they're still backed up hurricane, they don't call them back. However, it is a high priority item that will be addressed as soon as possible.
Is that price you got for the cleaning people for the halls, is that without the carpets?
It's with or without.
Or it doesn't matter?
What was your question?
They're gonna be doing less work if they don't have to vacuum the carpets.
Well, there's differing opinions. We spoke to several different companies. Some believe that the carpet is better and easier for them to maintain. Others believe that the new surface is. Either way, they have to clean what we have and what we give them. So the price is based on the time they've been able to do the job.
They said in their contract, that they would either vacuum or sweep. Okay, so depending on what was needed.
Okay.
But then I think these guys do a good job keeping everything clean.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, we can cancel it. We can choose to change it at any time.
This process they're doing in the hallways, is it gonna be available to people that have villas like I do, if I wanna do a resurfacing?
We'd be happy to share the scope of work.
But they haven't talked about it, right? Or how much it would cost?
No, we could share the scope of work with you, but it's not a company that's doing it at this time. We've brought in our own workers and we're kind of contracting it ourselves.
Okay, because I'd be interested in having my patio done.
Yeah,
It was reasonable.
I could share the scope of work with you and then, maybe figure something out.
I know some people have also said they would like their garage floors done that way too.
Yeah.
I think
That's
at
a plus.
least you have to do some of the work yourself.
Well, we can put you in touch with it right now.
Earlier you touched on improving the entranceway. It looks lovely, and you've done a wonderful job with it. It really is lovely. And I'm just wondering if you're aware of the eyesore down at the maintenance shed. When you come into my area of Green Cypress Lane, it's a mess. There isn't any gate, put up a piece of fence, and that's it. And down at the other end of the maintenance, now they're starting to put stuff down there.
Yeah, well, I actually was talking with Brett about this on Monday, that, we built in this nice new shop, and I go in there and I look for things and I can't find them, and it's just totally unacceptable. So
I'm not worried about that, excuse me, what I'm worried about is when I
well, the
drive
stuff
there-
outside and the stuff that's visible and the stuff that's inside, if we were organized, it wouldn't be like that. So there needs to be a better job done, and that's on the list, yeah.
The fences would be nice too if we took a little more area and when we have work done, have some of the trucks parked in there rather than out in front.
Yeah, we would like to do that. The problem is with, the drainage, the water back there, it gets very saturated, so we can't park the big heavy trucks, so we want to cover.
Because as you know, I've had a disabled truck parked out in front of my place for 4 weeks. That isn't very attractive. Yes.
Isabel, can you speak into the mic? We really can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking about the eyesore on Green Cypress Lane, which is the maintenance shed. Something needs to be done there, and Eric said that they are looking into it. Thank you.
question, Michelle?
For me? Oh.
They did a great job on the map, and as I mentioned to Eric,
Can't hear you. Please speak into the mic.
they did a great job on the path, but anybody that walks around the lake can see that on the lakeside of 4701, they left big clumps of concrete. They parked the machine there for over a week on top of the grass. So the grass died in the spot where I have been trying to get sod for a while. So I asked Eric, does that mean that the company is responsible for digging up that black stuff all over the grass? Are they responsible for putting in new grass?
They're not responsible for putting in new grass. Irrigation, electrical, sod, that type of damage will occur when you take on a construction project of this size. Actually meant to touch on it in my manager's report. You noticed the Malibu or path lights are at the ground and many of them not working at this time. We'll get them back in the ground. We want to get all the touch-ups done. Now, clumps of asphalt being left, should that be there? No, that's what you come back and you punch out the job and do. However, broken sprinkler heads or valves or lights or a little bit of damage to sod, that's to be expected. Once everything is punched out and done, we will assess it and do what's necessary to make everything look right. Fortunately, in Florida, it rains, that grass grows back pretty quickly. We had some pretty big tire ruts through the tennis court to get the equipment in, and they're already kind of growing back out. So we will look at it as soon as we have everything buttoned up.
Well, so are they gonna dig out the big clumps of black stuff that are an eyesore? The rest of the lake looks great. The place in front of my condo is a mess. Are they gonna dig them out or not?
There are clumps of asphalt that were left off to the side that shouldn't be there. Then I think the right thing for them to do is to clean it up.
Thanks.
Now, if they ran over some grass with their dump truck and left some tire marks, that's to be expected. That's part of the deal. When you do
They left the machine there for a week on top of the grass.
Yes.
Okay. All right, my second question is 2018 roof project, still not complete, still no inspection on my roof. I am still missing clips on my roof. So what's the update on that?
A representative from Crown Roofing reached out to our council about scheduling some inspections. We responded with some dates that we were available to inspect as soon as this week. We have not heard back.
So who's moving this forward? Because it's my roof. I'm concerned.
Well, the roof has passed all inspections. There's
It's
no.
missing clips, I know that.
And you have rights and you can do anything you want to do.
So basically you're telling me that unless I get an attorney, you're not gonna address fixing my roof?
No, that's not what I said at all. I said that we've submitted dates to the roofer's attorney that we would be available to do inspections, and they have yet to respond to us.
Okay.
That's the update at this time. If you don't accept that, you have the right to do anything you want to do beyond
I
that.
just am hoping that you're gonna be on top of it and trying to resolve this issue. It shouldn't be that difficult. But thank you.
Shouldn't be.
Thank you, Michelle.
Fortunately, it is.
Any other clarifications we need to make? In that case, the vice president is going to take over the meeting.
Hearing no more questions, we are now